Hello and welcome to my garden and the dinosaurs who live there. We're on Wednesday the 25th of September and autumn has definitely hit. It's 8 o'clock in the morning and it is about 3 degrees Celsius at the moment. So yeah, definitely seeing your breath weather. I'm just out in the garden to get a couple of things done before I go back indoors and start work. Just wanted to say I've recorded some pieces of the video just earlier on, I think a few days ago, and then I will be recording other pieces today and potentially tomorrow. So it's a little bit of a collection of things that I've been doing in the garden over the past few days. So I hope you enjoy it. Please, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel and you like my content, I'd love if you would click the subscribe button and click the bell so that you're alerted every time I post a new video. I do hope you enjoy this video. Please comment, because your comments are always appreciated and I always will reply to them. So yeah, let's go on and show you around. So it's been a pitiful year for me for tomatoes, and I really was beginning to think I wasn't really going to get any crop at all. However, I think there's some good news on that front. So here in the polytunnel, which is a bit of a disaster at this time of year, here I have Ailsa Craig, lots of tomatoes. Oh, hang on, there's a spider just dangling in front of me. Lots of tomatoes, but only now starting to ripen. And I'm hoping, no blossom end rot. You dancer! Look, 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 look! At last! I seem to have got on top of the blossom end rot, certainly with that plant. So there's a few there to harvest. The sun gold are doing absolutely fine. And have done, well, when I say fine, they've not been as prolific as normal, but they are certainly giving me some nice toms. This isn't looking so good. That's rotten. And that one's got blossom end rot as well. So this whole plant has just been a disaster from the start. It's just giant tomato, it was called. So yeah, that one can come out. More sun gold. Actually, one of these two might be Tim's Taste of Paradise and the other might be sun gold, but of course that's sun gold definitely. What about this one? Oh, that's giant. Yeah, it's sun gold. What about this? Oh, that's Ailsa Craig and it's fallen over. Yeah, so we're on sun gold definitely for these little cherries. Ailsa Craig has fallen over to a degree. So this is Ailsa Craig here. These ones aren't. Oh no. Da, 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 da. Yep. More ripe. Gotta get those off. This is Crimson Plum. And this was a tomato that I bought in and rotten. It's right at the doorway. It's not very well, not very good for it. Sort of keeping it warm. Lots of tomatoes, but other than that rotten one that was starting to come, there's nothing else. So anyway, Ailsa Craig appears to be starting, which is great. I would like some of these Crimson Plum actually. I was hoping to make some nice tomato sauce with them. But, you know, they're not anywhere near. I'll need to take some leaves off this actually, won't I? There's another one there I see has just rotted. I'll need to take off. So yeah, I think bad vegetable husbandry can be blamed for some of this. Could do better, I think, is the report card. Here's my onions, hopefully drying a bit. Very pleased with my onion harvest, as you know. Nice big onions. My squash plant's looking a bit worse for wear, or squash plants I should say, after some cold nights. So I'm just going to harvest the squash that I have. This is mashed potato squash. I will just harvest these. There might be the odd little one I'll leave just in case we get more growth, but I'll get these out and see what we're working with. Okay, here is 8 nice baked potato squash, varying sizes, but here's sort of a reasonably sized one, and the smallest one I think is probably that one. There is another tiny one on the plants that I've just left. I'm pleased with these. I hear that they taste lovely. Now, is it mashed potato squash or baked potato squash? I can't quite remember. But anyway, that's my little harvest. If you've eaten these before, I'd love if you would suggest best ways of cooking them. Should I just mash them up with some butter like mashed potatoes? Yeah, let me know, and I'll have a try at these. I'm quite pleased. They're not huge. Last year I grew some huge varieties of squash, and you know, I still have some in the freezer and I've still got soups made from them and so on. So this year I'm quite happy to have a more modest size of squash. So this is the bed that had the sweet pea teepee in that did really, really well, and that's now been tidied away. So I have popped in here some calabrese. It is called Achilles. So I've got 3, 6, 9, 10 in here. They're quite small plants. I did buy them as garden ready plugs, so hopefully they're going to be okay. I did give them a week or so just in the chicken coop, actually. Not the chicken coop, the chicken run actually, just to sort of get over their journey. So yep, pop them in. I've got my usual chicken protection wire around it, and I've actually just put some netting over it. I don't think there's definitely not any cabbage whites around now. That wouldn't prevent cabbage whites anyway, it's too big, but it's really to sort of prevent birds getting in there, and it's also to prevent the leaves from this tree here actually getting onto the ground. I'll be able to clear it more easily from the net, I think. Now I've also got in here 2 broccoli rab. Grew these from seed again. They're sort of very small really, but they've been sitting languishing in cell trays for a while, so I thought, no, let's just get them out in the bed. We've had some reasonable weather over the past 2 days, not as warm as it was earlier on in the week, but yeah, we'll see how they get on. Next to the bed with the broccoli in is this little bed which I just took out cabbage and carrots from, and I've now topped it up with manure and fish blood and bone, and I now have in, I don't know if you can see, there are 3 curly kale in there, purple kale, and I've put 3 spring cabbage. This one is called Dutchie, so I've got 3 in there, so hopefully it won't be too busy, too cluttered. And that's got the netting over still, as much as anything to try and dissipate the weather a little bit, rather than, you know, have the full force of the weather getting into these wee plants. These 2 pots had peas I should say, in, and they're now over, so I've just used them as sort of a extra little veg beds. I've put 4 purple kale in there, and I've put some pak choy in here. Pak choy looks a little bit nibbled, but hopefully it will carry on growing okay. Yeah, so fingers crossed we get these growing on a bit over the coming months. Now, as I said earlier, it is very, very cold this morning, but that's due, of course, a lot to the fact that we've got a lovely bright blue sky and there wasn't a lot of cloud cover overnight. So now, looking at the flower bed that sits next to the swing seat, which started off with spring bulbs, then had some summer bulbs and summer flowers, and still has some of those in, but just a bit slow to mature in certain circumstances. But just have a look at these two lovely sunflowers, quite tall and finally open and taking advantage of the sunshine. I think they're gorgeous. And then I've shown you these before, but these gladioli, we've got even more of them out now. All this lovely orangey colour that sits really nice with the yellow of the sunflowers, and also, back down again, the yellows and oranges of the calendula that are continuing to flower. So yeah, this is a great punch of colour in what is quickly becoming browns and reds and so on of autumn. Now, in the last video I showed you this bed that I had just built and filled and planted in. The kohlrabi in there and the cabbages in there, they're noticeably larger than they were the last video, which was about a week or so ago. They're doing great actually, really quite happy in there. And beside it is the sort of shrub or herbaceous bed I had made, and some of the things in here are going to lose their leaves excuse me, others aren't, but hopefully they'll winter okay and come back in the spring and the summer, and the bed will look much bigger and yeah, more powerful to look at than it is at the moment. And then I'll swing round. I'm trying to stay low because we're looking in at the sun, but it's just behind the fence at the moment. I know this looks horrendous, and I know it's not exactly the most environmentally friendly thing I could do, but all of this area that you can see covered in black plastic basically is full of very mature ivy and nettles and brambles and a variety of other, whoops, get the sun out of the way, a variety of other weeds. And it's just, there's just no way I can dig this out, no way at all, even if I took it a bit at a time. By the time I got, 5 feet along, where I dug would already be invaded by the things again. So I took the decision to put this black plastic down, and this is going to stay until such a time as I feel that it's safe to pull the plastic off and then just dig out the remainder of hopefully the then dead roots. Now I don't know how long that's going to take. It will be years, I guess, but I'm going to utilise this as best I can in the interim. So I've not got anything in the area there that you see, but if I move over here, before I covered this with plastic, I actually made some steps, little steps where I could position some pots, and I'll do more of that in the areas that I haven't already done it, so that I can put pots that will give interest and colour, and it's not just going to be this swathe of black plastic. Now, I would cover the black plastic in bark or chippings or whatever, but this is a bit of a jaunty slope, quite a slope in fact, so they just all slide down. So I don't know if I can do anything about that. Any ideas, let me know. For now though, the black plastic is down. I'm happy about that. There's cardboard underneath most of it as well, and that was as much to protect the plastic from the the harder stems from coming up through it. Yeah, so I'm pleased that I've done this job, because hopefully that means that, you know, okay, the odd thing will peek through, but it'll be manageable, and I'm not going to get the total forest of weeds that I had this year. And yeah, I can only build on this, and it's, you know, it's only going to get better. Just thought I'd give you a little peek at the view this morning. I'm more or less at the back of the garden. There's about another 15, 20 feet behind me, but I'm pretty much up at the top, and you can see looking down the garden and across to the hills. It is beautiful. I'm in the polytunnel now, and I've got a lot of peppers in here that really are struggling to ripen. So I'm going to harvest a few and bring them indoors and see if they will ripen in there or just remain green. But I just don't want to risk them getting completely... Oh, look at that. Oh. Yeah, this is what I don't want to risk. Look at that little snail. Don't know whether it's done any damage, but off it jolly well pops. So they're not the hugest peppers, and these are a really strange shape. They're all this shape, so I'm assuming they're meant to be that shape. Can anyone tell me what variety these are? I can't remember. Really weird. There's one here, a different variety. That is a bit red, so I'm just going to take this. So it's starting to, that one is starting to ripen, but that's the exception rather than the rule. Is that the other one? I mean, as I say, they're not huge, but they are, oh, come on, I'm coming out. They are going to be edible. Can't see. Yeah. Whoops, going to be edible. I'll leave the others. Oh, just pull the leaf off. Yeah, these are on their way. I think I'd rather just take them indoors and tidy them up and ripen them indoors. Let's see if there are others. I mean, look at this. Loads and loads of these really weird looking peppers. It's almost as though they're stunted. They're sort of growing sort of donut shaped but not elongated. Just want to get them before they start rotting. Let's see, look, there's one of them that actually has started growing elongated. Can you see that? There. A little bit longer. I'll maybe leave that one. Now over here, I think this is a bit past its best. You can see it's all rough. So I don't know whether that's going to be edible, to be fair. I think I'll just bin that one. But it has a pal here that I'm just going to take. Oh, I've just cut the top off the plant, but that's okay, there's no more fruit on it. So we'll take that one as well. So, do I take any more? I got a little tiny one. It's red, but it's tiny. There you have it, a little bowl of peppers, mostly green with the odd red tinge. I'll take them indoors and just see if they, don't know, will they continue to ripen up? If not, I'm going to use them as green peppers. That's not really a problem. Plenty of things I can be doing with them. I'm pleased to say we've still got plenty of colour in the little round flower beds. I'll just wander down to the first one, and you can see the cosmos is really flowering well. Actually better than it did earlier. Oh, I will walk backwards now so you're not in the sun. The Nicotiana is still doing great things, starting to finish, but I can't believe how long this Nicotiana has flowered for. All summer long, really. So I have been collecting seeds, or certainly seed pods. Hopefully they will give me seeds. Some of my baskets, the flowers had gone over, so I've actually, in a couple of them, popped some lettuce. So I thought, get the lettuce off the ground and give it a chance to give me a scrummy little crop. And while I'm on the subject of baskets, I want to show you this heuchera. I love heucheras just as much, maybe even more than I love hostas. So that's a lot. And this little heuchera is in a hanging basket. And it actually, in its younger days, the younger leaves are sort of brown colour, and they've now matured into a green. And you can see it's flowering. It's just loving life in this basket, I have to say. Oh, there's a little weed. You can see here actually, oh, I don't know because of the light, you might be able to see there, that's a sort of brown, a more brown leaf, and there's another one in there as well. So that's the colour that they are initially, and then it matures out to this green. And I can't tell you what the variety is, I don't think. I brought this one with me from the old house, I think, and labels lost along the way, but it's great. I don't think it'll stay in this basket next year. I think it'll need a bigger area to grow in, but yeah, heucheras are just wonderful. They give you foliage pretty much all year round, although in the winter it can look a bit tatty, and then you get these lovely flower spikes as well. Can't recommend them highly enough. And there's so many different varieties. Here's another one of the heucheras that I have. This is a burgundy one, it's gorgeous. It's in an old wheelbarrow that's needing a bit of weeding action. But you can see this one's got beautiful pink. Hopefully I can focus. Can we focus on these little pink flowers? Ah, there. Lovely pink. Well, it's actually burgundy flower stalks and then pink flowers at the end. You can see how cold it is just now as it's a bit frosted, but it will bounce back, no problem at all. Righty ho, I think that's me done for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. I'd also love to hear how you're getting on at this time of year in your plots and in your gardens. Are you getting any harvests just now? If so, what are they? Are you pleased with them? Or are you a bit disappointed? And what plans do you have for projects and other things over the autumn and winter period? Again, I'd love to hear what you're going to get up to. For now though, I'll call a halt for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. As I say, if you have, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll talk to you again very, very soon. Bye bye for now.